मेरा ये कोई मेन धंधा नहीं है, तो ऐसे ही टाइम पास के लिए मैं YouTube चैनल
Welcome back and hope you enjoy the conversation with ISHA BHANSALI, one of the best stylists in the country.
I hope so.
You are, man, you are. We all look up to you, man.
No, man. Jay, it's you.
So welcome. Are you excited? I'm so excited to have you, man.
I am excited to talk to you after ages.
After forever. So, okay, let me tell you this. Like, I have met a lot of people from your industry. Like, when I say we share now.
Yeah.
But from the styling space, and I have never met anyone who is like as humble and as like, you're very humble, which is why I have a feeling like we all love you, you know, because you're so like, I remember you had come all the way to Kandivali from town.
Yeah.
You drove.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to see my setup and you wanted to buy, and whoever other who I've worked with, they've always sent their assistants. So chai se kitni garam wala scene. And and I'm like, look at this one, man. Like I went home and I told my father also, I was like, man, and main naya tha na, so for me, any encounter with anyone from the industry was like, wow, you know. So when you had also come down, I was like, she's so nice to actually show up and buy and all of that. So thank you so much for always supporting us.
So now that we're at it, I will tell you what I thought of you when we first met. And I was also like, wow, there is a lot to this guy. And I can't wait for him to hit it. And I could see layers. And by layers, I mean like, I will not say you can touch the sky. I would say that you can touch skies. So, and I was like, this guy is super interesting. And I meant as a person. And I did not mean translating literally into your clothes, because I know I was there for that. But when I met you, and I really feel like it's so important to be an artist, whatever kind of art you are into. But to be that person, it takes guts. And honestly, you can only like, you can just thank yourself.
So you know, everyone who I used to meet, no, मेरे को ऐसा लगता था कि time बहुत कम है, and इनको जितना impress कर सकते हो इस time में कर लो. Like even if I've met someone for 3 minutes, no, my brain used to go like, you know how aggressive I was, like aggressively trying to promote myself, aggressively trying to tell people like the right thing at the right time and all of that. कि भाई, who knows if this person will be meeting me again? So let me just tell them my story briefly. And which is why people did come back to me again and again. But like, I mean, so we never introduced Isha. I mean, you don't need introduction technically, but I know, like I've seen you hustling, and I don't call it like physical struggles are there, and I've seen it. I'm not saying like struggles in terms of like struggling, but like I've seen you physically struggle, where you're running here, you're running there, and it's also, I'm sure it's pretty draining. I want to ask you that a lot of these girls, no, they're doing 4 years ka fashion styling ka course. 4 years studying fashion styling. First of all, just because unke friends mein, they've said, you dress the best. Now, what is your opinion on someone who thinks that they're dressing very well, so I should become a fashion stylist? Like, what do you think is like?
Yeah, I think that's like the worst reason to get into it. Firstly, because even I used to get that a lot. Oh my God, you shop for a living. I'm like, I love how you just describe my job and all the hustle that you mentioned in this one line. But it's, everybody thinks that. And okay, and like for a celebrity stylist, it's like, oh my God, I'm a fan of Ayushmann Khurrana. Can I, you know, assist you? I said, you need to be a fan of fashion. You know, that's the reason why you should be here with me. But you know what? They'll get it in the first month of their work that, oops, this is not what I signed up for.
They all live in a bubble, no? Thinking that
bubble.
Just because I dress so well, I can dress anyone. But they think going to H&M and Zara and sourcing from there is all the styling that you can do.
No.
There is, like, do you want to see, because I know for a fact, like, even when you met me today, you're like, oh, you've like become very sober, and, and that's what I felt about you also, that you're not that bougie, like I am fashion and like that fancy bougie type of person, you know. I think what makes you also who you are is like you don't want to like try and fake it, or you don't want to, and I love that about you, like मैं ये है and मेरा काम बोलता है, you know, like your work speaks for itself. And I've realized, like for example, I also used to think in the beginning के यार ये कौन वरुण धवन को स्टाइल करता है, for example, कि अच्छे कपड़े थोड़ा और ट्राई करो या whatever. But then I realized that they go to 10 places in a week, for example.
Yeah.
And us being in India, the exposure is a little less to brands and all of that.
To international brands, yes, but to Indian brands, I will say no, and definitely not now.
Not now, yeah.
Not
now
now.
everything is just like.
Yeah.
But
But that's another topic. Like honestly, I don't see the fuss about international brands a lot. As much as I love, I love the brands that are there in India, but that's because I love the people running it. And you know, like I completely adore what they bring to the table for the brand in this country. But I mean, like I have said this openly. Like you know, there are a lot of Indian designers who do better suits than your Italian. British
I think the way they
people.
like package everything, no, is better than. We need to learn how to like package things, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we need to like really know, because when I was in New York, and you know my dad makes like these. He's into menswear, traditional menswear, kurta pajama and all of that. But I had a suit which I had gotten tailored at my dad's store. So when I said no, it was a made to measure suit that I got made. They started assuming that I must be filthy rich. Just because I have a tailored suit on me.
Yeah, because bespoke is a sign of like that kind of wealth.
Yeah.
Which is like, this is just like it's like regular language for as far as men's suiting is concerned. In fact, having designer wear is like a sign of wealth for us. Yeah. And getting it done from our local tailor is like...
We don't appreciate, like we aren't really grateful people in India. Sometimes when I think about it, no? If I want to get a pant made, no, I can get it made in like $600 also.
Yeah.
And I can go to a designer and get it made for $60,000 also. And how much resources that we have here, man, is insane.
I really feel so. And in fact, I want to tell you, because I have been wanting to tell this to you for a long time, but we've not sat and chilled like this. We are always like bumping into each other. But Jay, I really want to tell you something. I've been doing this for, I think now it's about 16 years. And I have been, I mean, okay, I'm not that old, but yeah, okay, I'm old. But I've been doing this for 16 years, and I will tell you, there are a lot of Indian designers who do brilliant work, okay? When it comes to Western wear, it's been a long time that someone has come and cracked this as a brand. And it's been you. And honestly, I thank this revolution of streetwear in India, and I mean that. So, like, what happens is, we've got a lot of designers who do brilliant suits, you know, and they're still there. I mean, I can name a few if you want me to, but at the end of the day, India is always known for embellishments, embroidery, and traditional wear, and you know, that kind of stuff.
Correct.
But having Indian streetwear brands is like a revolution, and you've topped it, and you've started it.
You won't believe. So at this event where I was a panel, every brand that I met, no, they were like, oh, you've like inspired us to start this, and oh shit, like not just that, but they were like, it is selling and we don't believe it, and it is selling. And I told them my struggle, no, initially when I've started probably just about 2 years before they have, right? मेरा 3 साल हुआ JAYWALKING को. I know that उस time पे ना street wear इतना महंगा, and लोगों को भरोसा नहीं था, like buying online a 4,000 rupee t-shirt or something like that. So we had to create that foundation first so that all these other brands can start selling without people doubting them so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
listen, every second person is wearing a JAYWALKIng t-shirt. And it's a compliment.
You know, can I tell you, it is as much as a compliment that is, I'm also shit scared.
You're scared of that pressure, but you know what? I mean,
it's not pressure. You know, like in India, whatever blows up too much, no, it also creates a, like for example, okay, now say 5 years back, if someone was wearing a Supreme t-shirt, people were like, oh cool.
Yeah.
Now if you see someone wearing a Supreme t-shirt, you'd be like, what a douchebag. So this is me being extremely open right now, that sometimes seeing so much JAYWALKIng also
I don't
just
think
gives me chills. As grateful as I am, you have no idea. I
But-
am so grateful. But think about it. Think from my
Yeah.
sit in my chair for a
Yeah,
second
yeah, I
and
know what
think
you mean.
about everyone is on jaywalking. Now, what happens is, say for example, if you're someone who has like 15 jaywalking t-shirts and you have to go for a special event, you'd be like, what if 10 other people are wearing jaywalking? Should I wear it or should I? And this has happened.
But I've never seen any of these people wearing the same one because you do.
That's true, that's
you've
true.
done like they're wearing. I said a jaywalking T-shirt. It's not like the same one. It's
I mean,
not
this is
like your
just-
Zara or H&M or
Correct,
like
correct.
you have everybody wearing literally the same thing. So I feel like the language is the same, but the expression is different.
Yeah, definitely.
So
100%.
and that's a great thing. So I feel like and the Supreme T-shirt that you're talking about, I know exactly what you mean, and it's the same red T-shirt with white on it.
Yeah.
And it's become a cliche.
Yeah.
I don't see you becoming a cliche, and the only reason being, Jay, I feel you reinvent. I mean,
Things all the time.
I mean, yeah, I might be really blunt, but I feel you reinvent a lot more than probably what Supreme would. I mean,
Baba, people will give you too much hate for this.
No, I mean, I am sure, but the thing is, like, you have, and I tell you why. It's because of this. You know, the kind of prints, and which is why when I met you for the first time, I could see your multiple layers, and it is your multiple layers which I see you translating them in your brand. And I'm not like putting Supreme in any other category.
Correct.
It's a different, it's a completely different language.
100%.
Right, it's just a different language, and then obviously when you overdo it, there's a certain impression that comes. What I'm trying to say is, and Supreme being in its own place, I mean,
It is Supreme.
Exactly, it's Supreme. And in fact, I love how they've done their collabs. And that's the best example of trickle-down theory for me, in fact. You know, like starting from luxury to streetwear, which was always originally the underdog's, kind of tone and language. And now luxury is talking about it.
Yeah.
But so having said that, that one specific emotion you're talking about, I personally don't feel that you will ever face it.
I mean, this was me just being extremely like, I know that this whole thing is getting captured, but this is just me being a little more aware and
Yeah,
a
but
little.
it's great to be.
I feel like sometimes, I've reached that stage where I feel like I'm aware of everything. Like, I know if I do this, this will happen. I know if I do this, this will happen. And it is like seen, but I'm also getting a little, anyway, I don't want to talk negative shit about my brand on camera
It's
right now.
actually not, I mean,
But,
I completely understand, but you know, the fear does happen because, and I know what you're talking about because, and I don't feel it's India, I feel the world over in the digital age, everybody does get bored very fast.
Correct.
Yeah, things get overdone really fast.
Correct.
Because it's all over. It's like you hit there very fast and you fear that what if you fall really fast.
Yeah.
But that's exactly
See, one thing that I have never been scared of is failure.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
falling.
getting at. Yeah.
So I am not scared about falling down because I know that I will gather myself up and like I've built this ecosystem around me where everyone is so like pure, like everyone is so like growth oriented.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about
Yeah.
the reality of how to like, because I've realized the sole reason why, see now I'm making like basics. You never met me for this, right?
No.
This-
In fact, this is like an achievement because I tell you why. The day you make a plain t-shirt with just jaywalking written on it, you know what it means,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
so-
nothing else. There's
Yeah.
nothing else. You know what it means. This is a milestone.
But okay, we've spoken a lot about like us achieving things and whatever. But what I really want to get to is like, you must have had these times where enough, like bus. How do you deal with those times? Like what happens when, because you know the industry that you're in is so difficult to like, you have to find that little crack to enter it.
Yeah.
Because people think that it's just like putting clothes, but it's maintaining relations with designers, you being in that position where you make one phone call and that designer sends it to you because your relation is, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like what happens when like, I'm sure things must have not worked also at some times. Like, do you
It does. So, okay, I tell you what, when I was styling initially, I was a play safe person. Because I was always like, okay, I am under somebody and I'm going to like do exactly what. But then when I started out a little later in life, and I mean, you know, I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna basically execute my vision, which I never used to do before. I used to have elements of my vision here and there, but then I used to make sure that I meet others' visions first. And always put theirs first before me, because it was always about what the world is expecting out of me. And that was and I realized that was just a big mistake I did in my career. And then it was like, I don't give a fuck about what the world expects out of me. It's about me expecting out of myself, and which is why it also connects to what I was also going to talk about earlier. The only reason, Jay, you're fearing this, because see, so when I also met you for the first time, you were never here to reach here. You were always here because you just love doing it. The reason why you were aggressive is because you were not aggressive to reach here. You were aggressive because you want everybody to listen to you.
100%.
It was always about that.
100%.
And it's always about that. And which is why if you have this, you continue with this attitude, look, failure is inevitable, and it's natural, right? It's not, however fantastic you are. If not today, tomorrow, day after, maybe 10 years later, right? It's inevitable, but the way you deal with it is what counts. What failure comes, when failure comes, never comes, because it comes for everybody anyway. How you deal with it, and you will be able to deal with it. It's because of this attitude, because you were only here because what you expect out of yourself. And that's when I also realized, coming back to your question, it was always then, I'm like, fuck that. I think I'm going to talk about what I expect out of myself. I visualize certain things the way certain things are, and I want to express it like this. Why? What is stopping me?
So when you say you visualize things, I wanted to know, like, some people, I've seen kids, right? They're like, I am not materialistic, for example. Listen to me. Let the whole thing, they're like, I'm not materialistic, like, I don't care about, like, money. That's because you cannot make it right now. You don't care about a LV purse because you can't have it right now, to be honest. So when you say you visualize some things, this is what I think. See, if you have materialistic goals, they will happen. I mean, so when I say, like, when you visualize things, again, I'm repeating the same thing again and again. Do you also see you having certain things, or it's just solely personal, like you? Like your character building, or it's also like lifestyle upgrade and stuff like that?
This is a really good question. So what happened before, I'm not going to give you numbers, but I used to underquote myself. You know what I'm talking about, right? Should I say this?
Say it.
Dude, that was the first time I met Jay. I was like, dude, why are your t-shirts so cheap? You've undercoated yourself. What are you doing? And I remember telling you this.
So, you know, the sole reason why I have not uploaded Abhishek's video is because we've spoken about this, and I thought you would have a problem with me saying this.
No. Why will I have a problem? I thought you would have a problem with me telling you something. Should I say it? Because you used to. And I'm like, dude, do you know what designer wear is? You know, they have, I mean, come on, I love certain people and I really admire. I idolize few designers, but I also know some designers who have overquoted and overpriced their work. And when I compare that with you, see, I mean, I don't know how open are you with my definition of calling you a designer? Because I know you're a name now. I mean, you're like a brand. So I don't know how. So
you know what I have realized is, like, for some reason, no one's even looking up to me as a designer anymore. To be honest.
That's exactly why I'm asking
you. So
the
people, no, because they don't see me as a designer for some reason anymore. Neither is anyone calling me like a very serious artist. Really, what has become is, I have become this guy who people are just looking up to because he made it.
Have you become your own mascot?
I have. So literally a few days back we were also talking about, will jaywalking work if Jay is not a part of it? Will, you know, that's also been a question with a lot of people. They're like, if your face or you are away from jaywalking, will it work? And I have realized that it sometimes does not.
But you know, what about Virgil Abloh, or like someone like everybody, you know, all designers are like that.
No, for sure.
And it works. It happens for some time, but I feel it's too soon to talk about it.
Too soon, 100%.
It's too soon to talk about it, because I feel like there's so much you want to do it, I mean, in the way you're here for. But I mean, it really depends. You've started a legacy.
हाँ.
It's not like you are already getting there.
I've set foundation, I believe, and I would shamelessly definitely take the credit for it. I
Because
would
it's
never.
you, why
I would
not?
never. I'm honestly not even like initially. I used to be like no, and now when I go out, wherever I go or anywhere I see jaywalking, they would see that. That's what we were talking about, like Nietzsche, when we were talking about like this whole celebrity culture. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the celebrity
Yeah.
culture. Okay, one thing, no, the clarity that I've had after starting my business is that inspiring one individual or having a great conversation with one group of 4 or 5 people, the impact that it makes, is way off better than me just uploading a picture with a celebrity, like
Yeah.
or even knowing them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I've realized if I speak in front of 4 kids, these 4 kids will go out and talk to like 5 of their friends, and those 5 will talk, or you know that sometimes we don't know how much we are spoken about. And now I'm starting to dheere realize that no, dude, this is real. Like,
Wait, I was also going to tell you, what attracted me to your brand when I saw you on Instagram the very first time. So I'm a stylist and I have a magazine background. Okay, so for years, for me, a person's face and eye contact is very important. So I'm all about making pictures, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm a stylist and I used to work in a magazine, so it was all about pictures for me.
yeah.
So for me, and it still is because that's my foundation and it'll always be. And I love it and I love, doing that. When I saw your page, you had all your looks without the face.
Yeah. Oh my God.
In that blue garage, that roof,
Yeah.
whatever that you had at the back.
Yeah.
And I remembered that and I loved it because you managed to do what I didn't expect. And from me, with my background, I'm always expecting a model to have eye contact despite wearing great clothes, despite being styled fantastically. But this was my definition and you broke that norm.
So a lot of people have said this to me, that you did things in a very ulta
Offbeat,
way,
yeah,
offbeat way. But my sole answer to them is like, I did things in the most commonsensical way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you didn't. And then when I actually saw that backdrop, when I came and visited you,
Yeah.
and this is the first thing that I don't remember I don't know if you remember, but when I entered, I'm like, Jay, is this why you click your notebooks?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. You
Yeah.
laughed like this. You're like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I do it. And I'm like, fuck, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see, this is what.
So Jugaad. So
Yeah.
my entire brand has run on Jugaad, and I say this a lot. But same, right, with you, were there any Jugaads that you had to
Always.
do?
Oh my God,
or
always.
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 As in, like, when I say, like, see, at the end of the day, did your, like, we've never spoken about, like, have you ever studied fashion, or
Yeah.
have you, you have?
So I have studied designing for 2 years, but obviously it was not like a NIFT or like a very,
It was fashion.
It was, yeah. In fact, I studied in BD Somani, which is like right here at a Cuff Parade. But I studied designing for 2 years. And I really feel it's very important for a stylist. Because
Yeah.
if you don't know your textiles, how will you know how they fall?
Correct.
If you don't know how they fall, how will you know how it looks on a person? So this is my mindset.
This is what-
And I'm sure, no, but I am sure that there are stylists who've broken that mindset, and
Yeah.
they've done fantastic job. But this is how I have always looked at it, and like, which is why I work the way I work. I have micromanaging issues, by the way.
That I have seen.
You will see me come and source. You may probably see me come and return also, which
Yeah.
a lot of my assistants will tell me that you work differently from the other people they've worked with.
But then as a stylist, what is scale exactly? Like, what do you think is scale? Like,
In terms of your knowledge in design,
can someone who's a stylist scale in any way? Like, this is a very random question. It just popped in my head because I've been speaking about micromanaging a lot, and I've been speaking about, right, how I was like, I want to do everything.
you were that too.
Yeah.
I could connect and
Somewhere I'm
Yeah.
still that, but
Yeah.
not anymore, because
Okay.
I know that I want to like do more. Like, I want to do all this. I don't want to get my head fucked around कि भाई ये नहीं आया आज ये late आया या इसने झगड़ा किया and all that. So I don't want to like interfere in that. So that's what. So which is why now I'm able to expand. or make my reach become bigger, because now I am not focusing in the stores. But as a stylist, what is scale? Like, is there scale or?
I mean, it could be the way you want it to be. There are stylists who are actually mainly running out of their assistants, and like their assistants are doing all the sourcing, and they're just going there for fittings and approving and not approving, or that's how they are working. But everybody has a different way of working. I mean, at the end of the day, all you want is someone being styled fantastically. Then it doesn't matter how they do it. But for me, it's a completely different language, because I need to see it myself. And then especially if it's a new brand. So you saw me at this convention. I wouldn't send my assistant for it. I have to personally go see the fabrics, touch the fabrics. Because, and again, like I told you, I've worked in magazines and I know how things look very different in pictures and how they look really different in person. And in fact, it was my job to make something shitty look fantastic in pictures. And it has happened.
Correct.
Like, you've no clue how many clamps we have at the back, right? You have no clue, the zip is not even up. You've no clue that what's literally at the back of the garment. So, because of that kind of foundation that I have, I need to see it in person. I need to touch, feel, see, meet the designer, see the vision. And I know what language they speak, because see, for me, fashion is not like, oh my God, I shop for a living. For me, it's art. It will always be art. And because it's that, I want to connect with the artist, which is you. I want to see your vision, because there is a certain language you bring to the table. And because I'm a stylist, my job is to kind of execute my vision, mix it with yours, and create a third vision.
And I was going to say that because of a few times certain things that you've asked me to do, you have pushed me to like make things that I did not know that I was capable of making. Really. And remember that Cheetos, that was a huge hit design of ours? Was technically your idea, by the way. You remember you wanted something, a jacket made for Ayushman, which was like a neon orange.
Oh, I love that jacket.
And I was like, neon? Who will use neon and how will it look? And when we made it and when we put it on a female model also, and I was like, oh shit. So that was yours. We started making bombers because of you.
Oh my God. I love, because, I mean, come on, look at what I'm wearing.
And you remember that one maroon bomber that we had made? That was a one night thing.
That was, but it was still a fantastic one.
Oh, There was a hand embroidery in it, there was pockets.
Love what you did to it.
I want to know, so I remember that y'all also are like extremely frustrated most of the times with the corporate clients. What's the scene like? It's, I mean, I've seen you like, अरे यही चाहिए यार उन लोग को यार यही चाहिए यही टोन चाहिए boring कपड़े.
So they all think we are fairy godmothers. You wave a wand and it's out.
And it happens.
It happens.
But
one
like,
night before we'll get out. They don't. A lot of people don't know that a stylist actually works 3-4 days before a shoot, then on the day of the shoot. For them, it's like, oh, the shoot is on 24th.
बस खाली कपड़े पहने, हाँ.
But but I guess people are getting there. They're realizing that it's not just costume didi. And like more than just that.
No, but also like, what do you think? Like, have you seen? So, मेरे को गुस्सा कहाँ पे आता है पता है कि when like Nykaa wants to do something, they are doing some shoot, or Myntra is doing some shoot, and you know recently there was so much of hate against them that they are doing cringy styling for their ads. What like? Sometimes I feel like मेरे को बोलो ना मैं free में कर देगा यार, but कुछ तो हमसे पूछ लो मतलब.
I guess each to one so.
You want some work from them.
No, I mean, you know, it's even if I don't, but like I'm sure I may have also done something which someone must be cringing at.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so now I've started answering.
I wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't wear it is how I would say it. But if there are people who wear it, then I mean, see, they know their TG more than I.
Actually,
they know their shit. So I guess, you know, and they are where they are, so they know their shit. So I guess, yeah, maybe because see, I'm a stylist. So for me, it doesn't matter. You can make her wear like a sack under this fantastic jacket. I will only take the jacket and do something else out of it. But yeah, for people who you are inviting a certain kind and you want to invite a different kind of people, then they should know that, guys, you need to sort of, Like how there's Agio Lux.
Oh yeah.
So there's like, you know, they are trying to reach out to different audiences.
Yeah.
But if that Myntra and Nykaa, whoever you've named, I mean, if they are happy with their audience, then great, man.
But they also got a lot of shit for it. Huh? I had, let me see if I had.
But have you seen Zara's lookbooks?
I think they are damn clean.
They are very clean, but some of them, I mean, it's a meme, okay? There was this bag that I wanted to buy. I mean, the bag was fantastic, and honestly, there's no complaining because Zara does without celebrities, right?
Correct.
They don't even need them.
Yeah.
But like, I'm seeing and I'm going through the app, and like the first image, the bag is blur. Second image, the bag is blurred. Third image, the bag is blurred. I'm like, can I just see the goddamn bag?
Maybe your internet was not loading.
No, it was absolutely fine. But like, it's everyone has this certain thing that, dude, what is wrong with you? And they have a moment.
Yeah.
You know, even the biggest of biggest like a Zara, like they've got these crazy moments. Then what do you do?
But yeah. See, it's at the end of the day, you know, everything is human made and everything is has a human error to it.
It happens in human error because, you know, the thing
But yeah,
is,
at that scale and that level, yeah, such human error is not.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, we are not doing maths here, are we? So there's going to be a there's going to be a difference of opinion, and I have realized where I work, everybody has opinions on clothes. Everybody.
Yeah.
And clothes is one thing. Everybody
India
has an
mein
opinion.
not just about clothes, people have opinion on everything.
Yeah.
For example, if someone comes and gives you advice like free gyan, how do you react to that? When someone's coming and telling you, Isha, ऐसा करना चाहिए था या ऐसे ये करो या वो करो, then what do you?
Fake smile. That's one thing I've learned, and I can't pull it off because I can't pull off, and I'm not like being pompous or boasting or anything. I want to learn how to be fake. I just can't. Because I am so in your face, and this is what it is. For me, it's always about what you see is what you get.
Yeah, that's true actually. But going back again to.
I want to come back to being materialistic.
Let's talk about that.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
So just like you, and I know why, and that's why when you were underpricing, because I have done that myself in my life. So I'm not materialistic that, I want to like get a Lamborghini in my life with all the money that I earn.
Oh, why not?
I mean,
Maybe another car.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess I have different aspirations. But I have realized the problem of undervaluing yourself.
Yeah.
I was not taken seriously. And and what happens is it becomes a domino effect. I mean, come on. So you're a brand, it's different. For me, it's like you were charging this in your last job. Why are you charging so much now?
Yeah.
So it becomes a domino effect, and that was a problem for me. So I had to change that. So I probably may sound materialistic or maybe.
But someone who has this pricing problem, what is the advice then? How did you change that? Like, how did you change that person's perspective that, okay, now?
See, I mean, obviously, I have little more experience because now it's been so
little nahi, you have a lot of.
So now, I mean, I can always be like, for me now it'll take me 15 minutes to create 5 looks.
Yeah.
But it's not because. So don't pay me because it's a 15-minute job.
Because it's taken you that long so that
Exactly.
you can do it that fast.
Exactly. So you are paying me now not for the amount of hours that I'm putting in.
Yeah.
You're paying me for my brain.
Correct.
You're also paying me for my tolerance.
Yeah.
You exactly, right? You have last minute changes and I'm doing it for you.
Yeah.
And again, coming back to, I made you do things which was not jaywalking.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this why I did that. You're one of the few Western brands who are. So it's very easy for a lot of creative designers to put together different designs, but it's fucking difficult to get a finish.
Yeah.
And that a lot of Indian fashion is known for that. Was known for that. I think, correct me, it was known for that.
Yeah.
But I will change that. I mean, I'm going to change that sentence because it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
However, all the big designers that you have now, they've learned from it. And it's taken them very long. And which is why there are certain designers who are better than Armani.
Yeah.
For you, you being a young brand, achieving that kind of finish was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I remember coming and telling you that listen, Zara did the same fabric and there's multiple pockets. And it was 2 years after I got those cargos from you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, I mean, maybe they're copied from you. I don't know, but I know you were ahead of your time.
Yeah.
That is one. And two, I saw the way you finished it, which no other Indian brand was doing.
See, the thing is, I was working the other way. I was like, yeah, if I am selling someone a jacket for 25,000 rupees, if I give it to them and they don't think it's worth 25,000 rupees, they're never going to come back to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to make that quick buck that one time. I want to make that money 6 times, 10 times, 15 times from that one person, so that if I've put in so much effort already to sell, first of all, that one jacket for 25,000, and this is my ush time ka rate. Now to we have...
But your work on it is also a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Right,
Ush time pe we had time, we had so much, like, I was sitting down and drawing each and everything on the jacket to get it embroidered. Now to it's like, I visit my parents once in 3 months. It is that insane. Like, but anyway, it's...
That's great.
Yeah, it is insane. It is like, I don't know, like...
I'm just not surprised.
I remember coming to you, the day you were coming to my studio, that was, I think you were supposed to come at 9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And we opened at 11. And I was eating breakfast. I had come on my Activa, in my chaddi, I remember, to see you. And that is from there to like... So, again, you missed your point of materialistic things.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have like direct materialistic things that I want to own this and I want to own that.
But sometimes you want to see a country, sometimes you want to go somewhere. Like everyone has different material.
Yeah, that is for sure. But
Yeah.
I know one thing for sure, that now I'm not going to work. So I still, by the way, I still get calls from actors' mothers, artists' mothers asking me to do for free.
Oh, really?
With different words, of course. Collaboration is one word.
That is something that we share.
Is one. I'm not liking the word collaboration because I think now it's been abused.
Yeah.
So I have literally told them on their face, I'm so sorry, I don't work for free.
You won't believe this, but recently I did a full interview with a magazine, and they were like, because we have a full interview coming in the magazine, can you give us your clothes so that we can take pictures and put it in the magazine? I was like, you scrap the interview.
That was another thing I liked about you. And I know a lot of designers don't do that, but...
I was like, I don't want to be interviewed. Fake the interview. I'm not sourcing for nothing. No matter what happens, I will not source. Because I believe that even though I might be selling just a t-shirt, but you will not find something like this anywhere else. You know? And this is something personal that I believed in. Maybe 1,000 people will disagree also.
Yeah, because there are people who do give.
Correct.
And there are people who don't. But in fact, there was another brand who will be like, we do sauce, but we don't do Bollywood.
Oh, wow.
We'll name after this is over.
Shit, I didn't know this.
Yep.
So respect to them also.
It was in one of those pop-ups or those, I think it was Marketplace or Homegrown or something, I'd organized something. And you were also there. Were you there? I think you were there. Patni was there, Sahil Aneja was there, and this brand was there. And I'm like, I do this. Would you love to? Look, we like the sauce, but we don't do Bollywood.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. I mean, it's each to one's own, and you've got to respect that.
100%.
Some of them do, and obviously, I mean, I have a job, so I'm glad they do, because if they didn't, I wouldn't be here.
You won't believe. So I was like, very recently, I met one of the editors of one of the biggest magazines. I don't want to name her only anymore. But so I was at this restaurant waiting for my table, and they are like, "Upar hai na ek pop-up chal raha hai. If you want to just go and check it out, till then we'll get your table ready." So I went up, and this female was there, and I was like, "Oh," she's like, she acted, like, you. I'm like, jaywalking. Oh, how come you're not screaming and shouting, and how are you not abusing loudly, and how are you acting so civilized right now?
Had she met you before to say that?
She has met me, and I've said some controversial things also about her. on my podcast and stuff like that. So she's like, "Oh, how are you acting all civilized?" And I'm like, "Oh, how much time have you put into and saved up this joke?
rehearsed this.
How much have you rehearsed this that you are waiting for me to see you one day and then you say this?" But I'm like, bro, I know that I've pinched a lot of people. I know that I have, because even this magazine who's done an interview with me is never gonna bother even like touching me ever again. Like GQ stopped calling me again. You know, GQ also but we met at GQ once.
Yes, best dressed.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was.
Yeah.
Ayushman was a part of it.
Yeah.
And
Best dressed. Or was it either best dressed or it was one of their
most influential men or
yes,
something like that.
Yes.
But so tell me, okay, what has been the secret to your like consistency and like or success or whatever?
I think not giving up, which is not really a secret, but
it is. Trust me, it is. Because you know, I say this a lot of times. Imagine someone like say for example, an Anu Malik would have quit, thinking maybe I'm not good and I'm getting so much hate. He would have not been who he is, for example, right?
Yeah.
Right now, it's just pure not giving up, basic.
yeah.
And
But I will tell you what makes you sustain also. So I did a short course on styling also in London, along with my MA in journalism, which again had styling as well. But one of the teachers said that to be a good stylist, you need to have sense of humor.
oh yeah,
And that time I found like, this was like years back, right? More than 10, 15, I think around basically my initial years. I'm like, oh, this makes no sense. What about people who don't have a sense of humor? That's very unfair. And I was being all very moralistic and how so mean. But fuck, it's true.
it is.
Because till the time you don't have a sense of humor, you will not be able to tolerate this shit and you will not be able to survive or sustain or anything. Until the time you don't have a sense of humor, you can't fucking be cool.
Yeah.
And it's just so important to be cool.
I have realized that even when we were having this meeting with the video team, no, I was like, humor sells the most in India.
Yeah.
And if you want engagement, you know what? Like the craziest thing people ask me is, Jay, how the fuck are you not running any ads or sourcing or this or that for marketing? How are you not spending a single cent on marketing? Okay. And I told them that, bro, if you see a funny meme, you send it to your friends, right? You don't stop yourself from.
No. Yeah.
Do you think that a meme page on Instagram is running any ads to promote its?
Nope.
Why do they have the most followers?
That's what I like about you, because for you it's always about my work will speak about myself. But I will tell you, you've made up for it. You have made up for it in the sense that even though you're not sourcing, you're not into media, but you've made up for it. Like you've been at it, you've been out there, and I've told Patni to learn from you so often, and now he's like, okay, I need to be on social media, I need to like put this, I need to put that. I'm like,
Patni
yes.
is forever dialogue.
He's an adorable person because
He
he's
is.
like this. He's very quiet. He's like, ठीक है, पसंद है तो ले लेंगे, नहीं है तो नहीं. I'm like, okay, you know, but you've got to put yourself. They don't know about you.
Yeah.
How will they like you or पसंद कैसे करेंगे if they don't know you?
Way too many people are taking Instagram very lightly. Very lightly.
Listen, for me, with this, my magazine history, for me, Instagram is a new editorial.
It is. See, the only validator.
Yeah, now it is.
Is Instagram.
Yeah.
There is no one can give you or feature you anywhere. But I mean, see, for example, this is what I believe. Okay, for example, right now in today's time, say for example, if you're a women's wear designer, a Kim Kardashian wears your shit
and spoils it.
Why did we make a big deal out of it, man? I mean, we didn't even know the dress existed.
No, I knew it was existed, and because it was the dress.
Yeah, I mean.
For the president, she wore it for the president.
Anyway, so for the people who don't know, in context to what she's saying, Kim Kardashian recently wore this dress.
Happy birthday, Mr.
Editors.
President. Yeah.
मैं ऐसे this dress करूँगा तो इधर picture आएगा ना? She wore this dress, which was not fitting Kim Kardashian's ass.
Obviously, because
Because of the ass, so they had to. And then the dress is
damaged. With threads
it was
out and
it was
crystals
Marilyn Monroe's dress, which she wore it for the president, which is what
it was
she.
an iconic dress.
It was an iconic.
It was
dress.
an iconic dress.
But again, yeah. So going back to like.
Kim Kardashian wearing it.
So imagine a Kim Kardashian wearing it. You are like the brand, okay?
Yeah.
Or like a Drake wearing it, or a Kanye pulling off like a shoe. Like so, this is what has come down to, right? Like I knew that the first time when I was featured on High Snub IT and all these like international pages, I was like,
yeah.
This is it. Like अभी इससे ज़्यादा तो अपने को. Remember when I also told you that, bro, the right people are following me.
Yeah.
More than anything, more than like the amount of followers that you have, doesn't matter. If the right people are following, even if the right 100 people are following you, I think it's way more than enough.
But the best thing about Instagram is that no one's judging you. I mean, you do get trollers
That's what you
eventually.
think.
No, you do. No, what I'm trying to say is that you do get trollers eventually. But to be featured in a magazine, it takes more than that. It takes more to get featured in a magazine than to have your own page on Instagram.
Because I think magazine people are fucking lazy, first of all.
No, they just have a certain.
I think they are lazy. उनका पूरा life है ना barter पे चलता है. उन लोग को मतलब उनको ऐसा लगता है कि
that's
चल.
now, but when I was there, it was my wala.
तुम्हारे टाइम पे I'm sure. See, उस टाइम पे magazines चल रहे थे ना. तुम्हारे जैसे लोग ने छोड़ दिया.
I joined literally my first job was in 2006 and Devil Wears Prada had just released that time.
Oh, you must be feeling like you're a part of a movie.
That feeling went in a month because
which
you knew
magazine were you with?
So there was this magazine called Beautiful People. Don't laugh at the name.
No, it's fine.
But
I have a beautiful lady.
Yeah, you have a freaking hot lady. But so it was a luxury lifestyle magazine. It was with Ogan Publications, same publication as Elle.
Oh.
So that was my first job as a stylist, and like I did that for a couple of years.
Were you an intern?
I was a junior stylist. I went to then a stylist. Then I did my MA in LCF. I came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we spoke about this when you were at CSM.
I was not at CS. I was also at LCF.
You were at LCF, correct.
So tell me, how did the Ayushman thing happen?
Oh, I was working in a magazine and that's when I met him. I was doing a cover with him.
So you met him and then what did you tell him?
So, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm actually not a film buff.
Huh.
And
you didn't know who he was?
Huh? No, I knew who he was. Of course, no. I mean, of course, he knew. I had seen his films. But I was like, so when I used to work in magazines, I'm like, I want to be an editor one day. That was my goal.
Huh.
Doing celebrity was not really what I was really wanting to do. I was asked to style celebrities while I was at this job from 2012. But I kept saying no.
Acha.
But finally, when I met Ayushman in 2016, I was like, okay, I really think maybe it's high time I get into it. And I felt it was the right time because magazines were kind of dying out and everyone was going digital, the languages were changing, everything was like, okay, what is going on here? And then, and honestly, Ayushman was really, really sweet guy. And he's a cool guy. And I felt like, dude, there's so much I can do with him. Because there is so much, he still has, even today, a lot of untapped potential. Even though he's out there and he's where he is, there's still so much about him that, maybe probably he himself doesn't know because he's so cool that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I think I should do it. So I did kind of shuffle for the first 6 months with his work as well as magazine work. And I'm like, you know what? I think I need to start doing this full time. Another thing is, it was also my tryst with menswear.
But no, so how did you did you approach him that let me style you, or was he into ISHA style me, or what?
No, so basically I met him for a cover shoot I was doing when I was at Femina.
Huh.
So it was him and Bhumi together because they had just done a film together, Bhumi Petnekar. So they had just done a film together and it was like a joint cover with both of them. I had styled both of them. And he just had an event like literally the next day. Oh. He's like, you know what, I love what you got today. Do you think I could wear something from here for tomorrow? So I spoke to the designer. I'm like, okay, can he wear it for this? And it worked. And he loved it. And, I mean, obviously that time he was not a very busy actor as he is now. So I did a few events with him in 2016 and I guess rest is history.
Sick, man.
Yeah. But I think when I met you, was it 18 or 17?
19.
No.
No. What do you mean no?
It was not 19, it was 18. It was 18 May.
Let me tell you, in 18, I was in Singapore, a student. I was studying business management In 2019 is when I came back from Singapore.
I'm going to go through that picture. I'll tell you the date.
You will be shocked to know how soon I have done all of this. Because trust me, 2019 February is when for the first time I was like, bro, let's like, and you know, it's been 3 years since inception of like, since me getting a key, not me having a sample in hand. It's only been 3 years since like, I was like, I want to start something. And it's 2019, I know 2018 I was on a stage graduating,
But
collecting a
weren't you
certificate.
already doing a few things for yourself and like, because when we met, I mean, you may have started as a brand, but weren't you already designing for some time?
No. I mean, I've been helping my dad on and off.
Yeah.
But that's also like long history. मतलब 3 साल तो मैं सिंगापुर में था. उसके बाद 2019 में आया और ये सब शुरू हुआ. So I know 100% sure that I started my brand in 2019. We met then. Do you ever feel like you like you have competition or anything like that?
Every day.
And then what do you do? Like, because I feel there is like an extreme overload of
Yes,
people
it
who
is.
want to be stylists. And
Yeah, everybody.
And do you ever think like I would be taken over by and or something like that?
Every day.
So then what, like, so which is why you work hard.
Yeah. You can't do anything. And especially the profession that I am in, it's like you're very easily replaceable.
Huh.
And you should be aware of it. Like I am aware of it.
It always humbles you.
It completely humbles me because I know it's probably here today, gone tomorrow. You never know. I mean, of course, I work with the nicest people. And I would like to hope that they will like working with me.
Yeah.
With the way I love working with them. But it's not about them always, you know. It's just about
Correct.
how the world rolls.
But then, so like, say for example, so what's next for you also? Like, are you forever gonna be a stylist, or you're gonna venture out into other things?
I don't know. I mean, I can't do anything beyond fashion. I mean, I can probably paint a little bit, but I am, but that's always a hobby. In fact, I wanted to be a painter when I was in school. I loved fine arts. Now, who does that? So it's like, and at the same time, the problem that I had with being an artist as a painter is that I was very emotionally attached to it, which is a bit of a problem.
So you won't be able to give it away?
No, it's not about that. I can't handle failures.
Oh, yeah.
Like if something that I am so much in love with.
Can I tell you my
And I'm
secret
like,
also?
Huh.
The sole reason why I'm not like diving into how I dive into other things, the sole reason why I'm not diving into selling my art is because, say for example, it's so tricky to sell art because you do your first show and you do whatever, and my hype is only because I sell out fast. What if my work does not sell out on the first day? Then what kind of an artist I become? Okay? And it's not just about failure, it's about like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
art is so...
It's a very fine thread.
It's a very fine thread. And also, like, see, a lot of people don't believe that they can be a fine artist because in art, it is never honestly the painting that you're selling.
Yeah.
It's personal brand building first.
Yeah.
Before anything, before anything else.
Yeah.
Before your stroke, before your, even if you do the shittiest drawing,
Yeah.
it is never about that shitty drawing. It
Yeah.
is about personal brand
Yeah,
building, which is
yeah.
what I'm
But that's
only...
always about the artist because it's so basically what happens is whenever you paint, you
Yeah.
are there's some element of you which is on it.
Yeah.
So when it's not being bought, you feel you are being rejected.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because you feel that they are rejecting you actually because it's actually you which is on paper right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not there in your clothes. It's
Yeah.
different, but then there's obviously a bit of brain involved in it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, I'm going to also make this because people are going to love it. And of course, you're not doing it for people, but you know how to express in a way that everyone will relate.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we are all humans. So there's a very fine line that we are not at one extreme that we are living for other people. But heck, you know, we want to talk to millions around us.
Yeah.
And this is the language we choose to do.
So my exact, yeah, very, very well said. This is exactly what See, the sole reason why I chose like clothing is because it was very easily transferable, like my vision and my words and certain statements and all of that was very easily transferable. And see, even though, say for example, I made this,
Yeah.
I put this on a pant, I've already put this
Yeah, I
entire print on
loved
that
it.
bag, right?
Yeah.
My art is selling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, which is why I'm a little lazy to sell the actual piece, because I know that, say I made the beautiful lady, I've sold thousands of t-shirts.
Yeah.
I have made way more money.
I love the one with your face on it now.
Oh, you know, like big. Uh, it's so shocking to know that people are wearing my fucking face now. So initially, my dad used to be like, "You're writing J, only J on the T-shirt, not even jaywalking. Are you sure? Like, are you sure? People would not mind." But I am. So my brand so what I love about like art and my brand or whatever I do, no, I want to be surprised all the time. Like
Yeah.
more than, because chal tumne apna effort dala, but then you want to be like, shit.
But I'll tell you very honestly, the one with your face and just J, if you had done that 3 years back, it wouldn't have sold.
100%, 100%.
So there's a time and place for everything,
Correct.
which is also very important in this business.
You have to know your opportunities and to take it.
You know when to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like a button here which is supposed to press at the right time, and if you do it, then the world is yours.
Yeah.
So of course that's really important, but that again comes with experience.
Yeah. With time.
That sense, that sixth sense. It is a sixth sense,
100%.
which comes out of experience, and that is like a very delicate aspect because you may not hit the right button.
It's also exactly. It's also like it's also solid intuition. Like for
Yeah.
example, no, after a point when you've done something more than twice, the third time you already know more about
Yeah,
it.
but that's another thing I like about you because you've always followed your gut.
Yeah, like
You've always followed your gut, and you're like, you know what? I don't give a flying fuck what the world says. This is what my gut says,
see, the
and I'm
thing
going to
is,
do
like it felt like I got so clarity. So you know where I feel like I have argued this a lot, that a lot of people call me lucky, and I
I
argue
hate that word.
exactly.
I hate that word.
I argue a lot, but now at this point in time, no, I feel like the only place where I was lucky is I had clarity. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, I hate that word to the extent that even a gambler in a freaking casino is not lucky. He's freaking using his brains and knowing where to put it. That's not called luck. That's called brains. I have this enmity with that word. Don't get me started.
Same.
I hate that word.
I have argued with everyone about like when they call me lucky, but then I realized I've seen a lot of talented people extremely lost, you know.
No, because there is something that they're not doing right.
Yeah, actually, the effort that we put. So I think the only thing that we do is that we do.
Exactly, no, and which is why you said, even though you're not like really into media or you've not used the predictable channels, you've made up for it, but.
Yeah.
So you know how to put your work out there.
Yeah.
Which is another skill, it's an additional skill to all this that you're doing anyway.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't have.
Like for example, when we even shut down the website, you know, it was like, people are like, what? Like, why you are shutting down your website, which is already like giving you so much money and so much of. The reason why I want to do these, right, is because I have over in time tried to prove to people that anything for real is like possible just by having that mindset. But what is that mindset for you? Like, how do you get yourself prepped? Like, you know, everyone has this phase where, oh, I was not serious in life, and then suddenly I got serious in life. What was your serious? Like, at what point did you feel like, no, dude, this is real. Like, I have to work to make. Like, what was that wake up call for you that? Because see, we are constantly talking about our success. We are not talking about the struggle, and that's what is like pinching me right now, because I want to tell people all the lows only. I don't want to tell people the highs, because the highs people have seen. We are both like on our highs right now, but what was that? At that naive point where you're wasting time, you're killing time, and you're on your bed all the time. Like, how do you wake yourself up? And what was that moment for you?
It's a very personal answer, and I'm totally okay with sharing it. Not getting married.
Yeah?
So
Sick.
So I am, you can judge me all you want, call me spoilt, and the usual answers always come, but this is a disclaimer. I'm a townie.
Huh.
I'm a Gujarati townie. And I'm 38.
Huh.
Which is like fucking old for a single woman.
Okay. And?
Right, as per that standards.
Huh.
And just like you will not believe it, but just like every other townie, I was like, I'm gonna get married and I'm gonna have kids. When I started my career, that time fashion marketing was also a really big thing. And I'm like, no, I will choose fashion journalism because I can even do it after I'm married with kids. I wrote for a bit. I was writing for Elle after I came back from London. I'm like, let me be a writer. I can kind of do that as well. And then when I realized that I have a shitty taste in men, I'm like, you know what? I was just wrong all this while.
Yeah.
I'm probably not here for someone else. I am not here to build a house with somebody else. I'm here to fucking build my life. And there is a lot in me that is screaming to be out there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying attention to it. It's not like I wasn't, I was. And I mean, I was true to my job.
Are you still are?
No.
You still are? No?
I mean, at least not right now.
Yeah. I mean,
of course, we all want a companion. I am single. But we all want a companion, but my approach to marriage was just wrong. And it really fucked me over. And that's when and this was now it's been like...
And you didn't give in. Mainly, you didn't give in to that feeling. And
No, because I tell you why. And well, then luckily, I had bad taste in men, luckily.
Sometimes it's luck.
See,
honestly.
this is luck.
Uh-huh.
Right? This is luck. Like, it just happened that I ended up having bad taste in men, and I'm like, fuck, why am I going wrong here all the time? Then probably I realized that there's something in me that I'm here for something else. I'm here for myself. And I'm here there's so much more in me that I need to put it out there.
See, a lot of people are not taking ownership of their life. Like, I believe, like, you know how, first of all, you got clarity that you want to make something out of yourself.
Yeah.
And you do not want any dependency. And so I've realized a lot of people just give in and they don't think, मैं कभी-कभी बहुत लोगों को बोलता हूँ जो मेरे को बहुत ऐसा हारे हुए लोग मिलते हैं ना, I feel like तुमको इतना confidence है कि तुम्हारे पास 3 life है. They don't have the perspective only that you have one.
Yeah.
And time is actually like going by at a very, very fast pace. And if you don't make something out of yourself now, then the guilt also keeps building up.
Yeah.
The aggression, like the whole, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is this is.
And I think a lot of people are very used to being programmed in such a way that you have to, like I said before, you are here for other people's expectations. What is expected out of you, and people have that notion, and so a lot of people live as per, अच्छा ये तो करना ही था, like, it was like that. अच्छा, it's like a default setting for them.
Yeah.
And which is why the change in my career happened at the same time where I made this decision, because so when I realized that fuck, I'm not here for marriage, so till then, so my work also till then was a lot like I'm doing the kind of styling, or I'm doing the kind of shoots as per what is expected out of me. It's not like I didn't learn, I really did learn.
Yeah.
But it wasn't me. It was not my inner voice that was doing it. Okay, yeah, of course it was my brain, it was my skill that I wanted. But the moment things come from inside, that is when you make a change.
Yeah.
So if anybody goes like, oh, how come Jaywalking has achieved so much in 3 years? And I have never said that. Everybody, whoever's been like, oh, there's this brand called Jaywalking, they've achieved so much in 3 years. I'm like, you know what? It's not a fucking fluke.
Yeah.
Just because this guy has freaking guts, which you don't, this guy has probably listened to his inner voice and has nurtured a certain vision and have given it a kind of an expression that he likes.
You see, the thing is, no, you have to believe.
You have to believe.
You have to believe so much in your product, in your project, and yourself.
Yeah.
That you just know. And this is what I tell everyone, that if you lie to yourself even a little bit, no,
Yeah.
it compounds and then it just holds you back.
It holds you back, and it kind of confuses you also for some time, because you have different parts of you telling you different things.
Yeah.
You're all over the place, right? When you're lying to yourself. So it happens.
Yeah, I honestly, if something did not make me even the tiniest bit unhappy, sorry, like if something just kept me a little,
Yeah.
and I was like, ye nahi karna hai, bas finish. I will only do which I'm 100% happy with and like content with. And that's the only things that I did. And then one thing is there, you need to have balls. I mean, we all have a different pressure from the family in every kind of different ways and whatever. But to deal with that and just but this point makes so much sense. Like I've seen so many girls just give in just because either the age has come, and once we do get married and then everything's gonna
there was a time I'm like, fuck, my clock is ticking, and all that shit that happens in a girl's head.
But it's bullshit.
It was utter bullshit, and that's when I'm like, I completely started concentrating on myself and what I like and what I want to do. And which is why all the visions that I had for people, and even with my work. So why do I keep laying a stress called vision? Because for a stylist, it's very important, which a lot of people don't really take seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I tell you why I mentioned vision. Firstly, in India, we have a handful of resources.
Yeah.
So all the brands you're approaching, everybody has access to those same brands. If I wanted, there are times where I have literally put the look that is on the runway exact from there to there on my client. But there are times where I'm like, fuck, I think I want to do that jacket differently. And there are brands who go like, we are not liking that you're mixing and matching with other people. So that also does happen. Certain brands are really senior enough. They have a certain, again, even they have their own vision. So I completely understand. But there are designers who've just about started. They don't even, they're just putting themselves out there, and they have these embargoes on stylists who go like, oh, we want head to toe from this brand only. And I'm just like, boss. And you have to realize that you as a brand have a certain personality. My client may not go with the same personality as yours.
Yeah.
I remember you and I were also having this conversation when we were trying to get a pair of pants done.
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, this is not jaywalking. I said, so then I remember when, I was like, fine, so this is my requirement, and you do how jaywalking does it.
Yeah.
And that's how we found a middle ground.
We've done,
So that's again like a very gray area, right? You want to follow your gut, but it's also very important to be open-minded.
Yeah. 100%.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why, again, with jaywalking, it's where it is.
Yeah. So even like, so for example, what happened is, after a point, what happened is people were like, we will buy, but you stop putting the logo. एक point
For
तक
stylists, you
हाँ
mean?
stylist. So एक point तक ऐसा हुआ था कि we want to source, all that happened. We don't source. Okay, we will buy. So we were like, okay, sure. Then they were like, but for this ad, you don't put the logo.
Yeah, it has happened.
Still, I was like, okay, bhai, now to we stay no to that also. We will put the logo.
So but then what happens is sometimes a lot of brands, so it depends. So if I'm doing it for a still shoot, it's a bit in the face, because for a still picture, it's more about jaywalking than the phone that I'm endorsing. So that's
with you. I will always. I tell this to you on the record. I will always do whatever you want with you.
I want to do whatever you have a vision, because there's a reason why I'm coming to you.
For sure.
Now I don't think there should be a problem. Now even the brands will like it. That they're working on it. So I don't think, I mean, you're finally there. So I mean, they'll be like, oh yeah, cool, please have it. Now I'm complaining, why is there no jaywalking written on this jacket?
Dude,
I'm looking for it, like it's not there.
Yeah.
This is that time.
This is like OG, So when you used to come to us, we had no like
that
labels.
We didn't have that reflective thing.
We didn't have labels also. We didn't have like clothing labels.
Yeah, this one does. My first jacket doesn't. The ribbed one, that doesn't have.
Because people used to be like, how are you a brand without... I was like, it doesn't matter. It's a piece of clothing. You want to buy it or you don't want to buy it. You think like just because if I put in the name, you will buy it differently or anything. So I had my ways.
A lot like what Muji does. Muji doesn't have labels. You know that, right?
I
bought their clothes?
Muji is that.
It's a Japanese brand.
Acha, that has
Very
like
minimal.
everything inside, like clocks and
Yeah,
bed
of
sheets.
course.
And
But in their clothing, there's no label.
oh,
You'll have size. It's just like M.
oh,
That's it.
Huh, so
There's
who's
no Muji,
I just don't
there's
understand
nothing, and
who's
that's
making
them.
the rules. That's what.
Yeah, who's making the rules? And they're still a fantastic brand.
100%.
In their own way.
Yeah, 100%.
So that doesn't matter at all. So no, but even for ad shoots, like I will still take it. And okay, you have this thing. I want to put up. I have. I mean, we all work around it,
yeah.
right? And even the brand wants a certain kind of style brought to their, like, you know, to their video. I mean, I've given you the neon jacket which you've done, the yellow one. I did it on a phone ad with Ayushman, and they've used it.
Yeah.
So it's because, I mean, of course, see, your branding is not like a sports brand at the same time,
Yeah.
which is like only that.
Yeah.
It's subtle. At the same time, it's out there. So for this kind of work, it works. There's no problem there.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes, I mean, I cannot source from any of the sportswear brands.
Yeah.
So, which is why I'm so grateful to brands like you who've got athleisure. I mean, actually now I don't think we call it athleisure anymore, but that's how streetwear started.
Yeah.
We should probably talk more about streetwear in general in this country.
We should, but I have a feeling it's still there is not much to talk about. Like if someone wants to write something about streetwear, they will always make a compilation of 5 brands. They will name the same 5 brands
the same
again
brands.
and again and again. So, which is why we've stopped doing interviews for the. Do you know this? 2 years, I think almost 2 years it's been that I haven't done a single interview. I
Yeah?
was like, yeah.
I don't know that.
I was like, I don't want to do an interview anymore. What is budding? What is the same fucking words again? Like homegrown and all of that.
Homegrown. You know, the reason why this word homegrown is such a word, because we as a country, we love everything that is Western and white. And I hate that. And it shows in everything we do.
Yeah.
We love international stuff.
Yeah.
And there are actors, there are stylists, they only go like, oh, you know, it's an Armani suit, that means it has to be fantastic.
You know, it's
and
crazy.
It's
like one of the, I don't want to name any stylists, but like one big stylist was styling some big cricket player, and sent me pictures of big basketball players
okay, for?
to style. Like they wanted the cricket players to look like the basketball players, and I'm like, bhai.
Yeah.
यार तो मतलब you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was so annoying. I was like, rather get the exact same shit that basketball player is wearing
Yeah, do that.
and put it on the guy.
Go to Lakers and get it done.
Go to just you know what I'm saying? Like and it's so easy. You have so many people living in UK इधर उधर. Ship कर देंगे तुमको क्या है? मेरे पास क्यों आ रहे हो? You know what I'm saying? Like come to us for new like our things, because see it's very wrong to like exactly replicate the same culture here.
Yeah.
Because then we will never be on the map.
We'll never be on the map.
The idea is to be on the map, right? The idea is to create our own, like how Japan and all these guys have a solid culture backing
they
them.
don't look anywhere else.
Correct, right?
They are like,
and they are unlike anything in the world.
Yeah, which is why they're unlike anything in the
Their
world.
art, their anime, their styling, their culture, their cars, everything is like, and we have nothing. We are to still doing something that इन लोग 25 साल से कर रहे हैं जो अभी अपना year 1 है. You know, so that is what. But anyway,
no, but I do feel it's changing.
It is.
It is definitely changing. I mean, I know we are still at the beginning of this, and you are obviously one of the brands who've been leading that fast.
And you know, I'll have to like take some kind of responsibility myself also.
Yeah, of course.
To change it.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Why not?
So, but thank you so much for doing this.
Anytime.
I'm sure this is gonna give perspective to a lot of people who want to start either even styling or even want to do anything in life per
Or
se.
just want to know what the shit is about.
Exactly. So I'm glad that we kept it like a very. It's fine. Like this time, I'm thinking like it's okay that I had like a little. A lot of people think that इन लोग को डर भी लगता होगा कि नहीं लगता होगा. I'm glad that I even mentioned about me being maybe too saturated in the near future. Maybe, you know, like when we spoke about like seeing jaywalking so much is also scary, that part. So I'm glad like we covered a lot of points in this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that everyone should know, and which is the most important thing. It's a thing with the kind of, I'm not saying my industry, but in this line of art, people don't think it's, people think it's all glamorous and all hunky-dory.
Not at all.
So I guess at least they know that.
Literally yesterday while going home, I was telling my sister, I was like, people when they must be imagining like jaywalking ka life kaisa hoga.
Yeah.
And I was telling her like, thank God you're back from UK. Like, I won't be feeling lonely anymore because I have a very strict lifestyle. You know, I'm like in bed at 10:30. And people don't know this. I wake up on time, I go to the gym,
Yeah,
and I'm
I tell you what, people must be thinking that you are drinking and smoking up all night and sleeping at 5 o'clock and then like waking up in like 2 hours and surviving on coffee and like snorting, and that's what people must be thinking of anybody, right?
Yeah.
And with stylists, they must be thinking the same thing. They must be just smoking up, going shopping and just on few calls, and they must be just spending money and blah blah
and traveling.
And you know, guess what?
Not at all like that.
Guess what?
Not at all like that. When you actually start a business, when you're actually working on to something serious, it's all about the amount of hours that you put in, and at the end of the day, you just want to rest, which is why we go to sleep, and you know, rest is real rest. But
yeah, I'm sure we can go on
with
everything.
Yeah.
But
no. So, yeah. I don't wait. Go on. Matlab, I was gonna like wrap the.
Yeah. So I'm just so we could go on, and the rest is endless. But we should wrap.
Yeah. Because there is so much to talk about, and we can never like shut. So thank you again. Thank you.
Anytime
thank you
for
so
you,
much.
Man.
And.
मेरा ये कोई मेन धंधा नहीं है, तो ऐसे ही टाइम पास के लिए मैं YouTube चैनल